In today's video, we will look at the Doppler effect for electromagnetic waves. Assume you have a source of light moving with a constant velocity u toward an observer who is stationary in an inertial frame. So the observer is here. Let's say the source emits light pulses with frequency f0, with period t0 given as 1 over f0. So t0 is a time interval between the successive pulses as measured in the rest frame of the source. The question is, what is the frequency f at which these pulses arrive at the observer? Let t be the time interval between emission of successive pulses as observed in the rest frame of the observer. What that means is this t and t0 are related in a following manner. T is t0 over square root 1 minus u squared over c squared. Because don't forget, the source is moving with a velocity u with respect to the observer. Note, however, that this capital T is not the interval between the arrival of successive pulses at the observer's position, because the pulses are emitted from here at different points in the observer's frame. What that means is, during a time t, the pulses move a distance ct, and the source itself moves a distance ut. The distance L between successive pulses as measured in the observer's frame, let's call it L, is therefore ct minus ut, or quite simply t times c minus u. What that means is, if one pulse arrives at the observer at a certain time, the next one arrives at a time later by capital L over c, which is just the time a pulse takes to travel the distance capital L at speed c. Thus, using this expression for capital L, the time between arrival of successive pulses at the observer's location can be written as t c minus u over c. What that also means is the frequency f with which these pulses are received by this observer is the reciprocal of this number. So the frequency observed by the observer is c over capital L, which we can write in a following manner. C over capital L is c over c minus u 1 over t. So now, how do we relate this f to that f? From special relativity, we know that this t is related to that t by this equation right here. So let's rewrite this capital T in terms of t0. So that's going to be f equals to c over c minus u 1 over t is 1 over t0 times the square root of 1 minus u squared over c squared. That term. 1 over t0 from this equation is f0, which is the frequency of the light pulses emitted at the source. So we can replace that with f0. Now let's simplify this expression. F equals to f0 c over c minus u square root c squared minus u squared over c squared. I'm just rephrasing that expression into this. So you see, this will cancel that, and this term can be rewritten in the following manner. Bring everything under the square root sign. this will be c plus u times c minus u over c minus u squared. So that will cancel one of the c minus u from the bottom, leaving you with this term. So what that means is the quantity in the bracket can be rewritten like that. Square root c plus u over c minus u. So that answers our original question. The frequency observed by this observer is given by this expression. Note, this expression works when the source is moving towards the observer. If the source is moving away from the observer, then the expression will be f equals to f naught square root c minus u over c plus u. So you have to replace u with minus u for that case, where again u is the velocity of the source with respect to the observer. Now let's see how to use these expressions in solving problems. How fast must you be approaching a red traffic light? The wavelength of red light is 675 nanometers. For it to appear green, the wavelength of green light is 525 nanometers. Keep in mind that this problem is purely theoretical and for educational purpose only. So you have a red light, so this is the source, and the observer is moving with some speed, say u, and you want the red to appear green by the time the red signal gets to the observer. So we note that the observer is moving towards the source with speed u. So since they are moving towards each other, and if the frequency of the light emitted at the source is f naught, the frequency detected at the observer is f, then we know f equals to f naught square root c plus u over c minus u. In this problem, instead of frequencies, we are given wavelengths. Now we know frequency times wavelength is speed of light. So if the wavelength emitted by the source is lambda naught, the wavelength detected at the observer can be taken to be just lambda. So 1 over lambda equals 1 over lambda naught square root c plus u over c minus u. Let's manipulate this equation in order to determine u. Rearranging, you get lambda naught over lambda squaring would be c plus u over c minus u. Let's assume that this term is alpha. So that means c plus u equals alpha c minus alpha u. So u would be 1 plus alpha equals c alpha minus 1. So what that means is u equals c alpha minus 1 over alpha plus 1. Remember, alpha is lambda naught over lambda squared. Alpha is lambda naught. Lambda naught is 675 nanometer. Lambda is 525 nanometer squared. Substituting this in here and in there, we get u to be 0.246 c, where c is speed of light in vacuum. Let's take c to be 3 times 10 to the power 8 meter per second. So that means u turns out to be 7.38 times 10 to the power 7 meter per second. And that's the answer. Problem 2. One of the wavelength of light emitted by hydrogen atoms under normal laboratory conditions is 122 nanometers. In the light emitted from a distant interstellar region, the same spectral line is observed to be a Doppler shifted 396 nanometer line. calculate the speed of the emitting atoms relative to Earth. Are they approaching the Earth or moving away from it? Remember, what was emitted under normal conditions is that. So lambda naught is 122 nanometers. What was observed is that. So lambda is 396 nanometers. Remember, in our earlier equation, we wrote that times a square root ratio of two things, C, V, C, V. So this V is the speed that we are interested in. So what sign do we choose, whether plus or minus on top or minus plus at the bottom? Lambda is 396. So let's correct that. What that means is 1 over 396 is less than 1 over 122. What that means is this term here must be less than 1. In order for that to happen, we have to take the bottom sign. So let's rewrite that equation. So there's a minus here and a plus here. As we have mentioned earlier, the minus here means the source and the observer are moving apart. So the answer is they are moving away from each other. Now let's calculate the speed. So we bring this lambda naught to the other side. You have lambda naught over lambda. Let's square it. And the right hand side will be C minus V over C plus V. So let's assume this to be beta. We can determine the value of beta shortly. So C minus V equals C beta plus V beta. So that means V 1 plus beta equals C 1 minus beta. So V is 1 minus beta over 1 plus beta times C. So beta equals lambda naught 122 over lambda 396 squared. Substituting this in here and in there, we get V equals 0.827 C, or in other words, 2.48 times 10 to the power 8 meter per second, if you take C to be 3 times 10 to the power 8 meter per second. And that solves the problem. Thank you for watching.